Hey guys, this is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. Hey, today we're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sales. All right, we got a cool subject for ourselves, so let's go ahead and dive right on into. Give it a little fist bump and say howdy. Our subject for today is selling is half the battle. What did he say? I said selling is half the battle. Let me tell you something. Trying to get out there and sell every day can be crazy, man. It can be rough. It can be kind of tough because, as salespeople, we deal with what they call a lot of rejection. We deal with a lot of people who just say no. And the key to success in selling is to get out there and do the do. Half the battle of selling is just getting out there. Like I said, sometimes, we run into situations where we don't sell something for a day or two, or maybe we're just having a bad day, and it gets even harder and harder to pick up that heavy phone. It gets a little harder to go knock on them business doors or go knock on them customers' doors when sometimes we just don't feel it. You ever felt like you didn't feel it? My name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. I told you I'd tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, and the warts and all when it comes to selling. So one of the things that you have to deal with out there is getting out there. It's that simple. The hard part, like I said, is waking up in the morning, getting motivated, because see, here's the thing. If you don't get out there or pick up the phone and don't go talk to people, you ain't gonna sell nothing. And then you can't call yourself a salesperson unless you're actually doing the things that people don't like to do. Like, did you want to go ahead and go with that? Asking for the order. It can be kind of sometimes a little overwhelming. It can be a little stressful, but I'm gonna tell you what, I wear my little smiley pen every day to remind me, put on a smile and do the things that a lot of people don't like to do. A lot of times people don't like to have to do the hard work. A lot of times people don't like to have to knock on them doors. A lot of times people don't like to have to drive out to those people's houses and customers say no. Well, let me tell you something. It's a numbers game. And our topic for today is selling is half the battle is getting out there, selling, showing up. It's half the battle. It really, really is. A lot of times people want to call themselves people. They want to call themselves a salesperson, but a lot of times it's kind of complicated. And if you get enough rejection, sometimes we give up before the miracle. Been there, done that. And I've had some of those terrible checks. They suck. But, I try to be as positive as I can in my videos, but I always like to tell the truth. A lot of times people gloss over, say everything and every day is going to be all right. Well, we're going to have them tough days. We're going to have them sad days. We're going to have them mad days and them bad days and everything in between. But see, if we shoot for the stars, we have more of a positive opportunity to sell more sales. If you've got this attitude of gratitude, like, I'm grateful I have a job. Hey, we work on commission, baby. We make more money than most people even think about. A lot of times people have regular mundane jobs. They're guaranteed the same little bit of money every week, and they might have an opportunity to make some money. Maybe they might get a little bonus here and there, but see, when you work on commission, you have a chance to make your own way. You get to have the chance to make your own money. And listen, I know sometimes it can be stressful. So remember, when you're doing real good, sock some of that away. Go ahead and do some investing and put some money in a positive way. And don't just go out there and spend it. That's just crazy. My whole thing in life is to try to make things easier for us salespeople, not complicated. And I've been in sales a long time, since the 80s. And I'm going to tell you, when I first started, I used to spend my money on everything, honey. And I had a real good time. But see, what happens is, as time creeps up on you and you don't put no money away or you don't invest some money, you go, dang, I got a lot of bills and I ain't got nothing to show for it. Or maybe if you're like me, you got a lot to show for it, but it's like you wished you would have done some things a little bit different. You ever thought about that? Doing things a little bit different? That means doing them the smart way. Learn from other people's mistakes and not your own. Okay, that's serious. What's our topic? Selling, showing up is half the battle. Let me tell you what. When you first get into sales, you're all amped up, you're all excited. Then you get a few years on yourself and you kind of like, you're not the same person. So you've got to wake up every morning and be excited that today is the day that you're going to make your big money. See, a lot of times we get to become what they call kind of lazy and passive. You ever done that? Oh, okay. I'm just saying, some days it gets kind of hard to drive over to people's houses and they treat you like a dime's worth of doo-doo and all you wanted to do was sell them something. But they wasn't expecting that. So, we have to learn how to live life and live it on life's terms. It sounds easy, but it ain't always easy. Selling, showing up is half the battle. Man, I'm telling you what, I will listen to motivational materials every day. I read books. I'm always learning. I'm looking at masters, people who are even way better than me, people that are younger than me, older than me, that I try to pull ideas and information from, so that makes it a better me. Like they always says, you can get a lot of information, but they don't want you to get every bit. Just get the golden nuggets that you can pull from it to use in your own selling career. I got over 400 some odd sales videos now, and I got a couple of nuggets in there. But you think I learned it in one day? Do you think I got it from just myself? No, I seeked outside the box. I started looking and learning and wanting to be the best that I can be. So how do you become the best you can be? You do the things that other people don't do. You go on YouTube, you go on all these websites, and you learn about how to have those selling conversations, how to close sales, how to ask for the order, how to use those different techniques in selling that close more sales. And like I said, it's a numbers game, guys. I tell you, showing up is half the battle. Knocking on enough doors, getting your presentations in front of enough people, and I'm going to guarantee you this, you're going to sell a whole lot more. And what happens is when you show up, what'll happen is you don't have to show up as often, because you get to a point where you're really good at your presentation and you can see less people. It makes sense. And showing up is half the battle. Going to work every day with a positive attitude versus a negative attitude, it's a big deal. I'm just saying, I've been in sales in a long time, and I've seen some really, really negative people. And I'm thinking, man, what are you doing? Why are you even here? Why are you wasting your time? But see, you're not wasting your time. What you're doing is you're learning. You're asking questions. You're looking outside of yourself to say, what can I do to get to the next level? That's important, and we matter. Salespeople, we got to put on our little smiley faces when we don't want to smile. Sometimes we got to take that mask and put it on, because see, here's the thing. You can have a bad day. You can have some bad phone calls. You can have a whole bunch of stuff, but see, you don't never know. That next person you talk to could be the next sale. It's true. I've been there and I've done that. I've been frustrated, mad, and I just take that little bit of inside and I throw it away, and I just have my little pity party for a minute, and the next thing I know, I'm selling something else. Okay? Selling, show up is half the battle. Showing up is it really is, guys. I'm going to be sincere with you. If you go to people's homes and you knock on enough doors, eventually you're going to sell something. I'm just saying, you may get a lot of rejection, and see, that's hard for us salespeople, that rejection, people saying no, because we take it internally, we take it personally, we think it's all about us, but we're being, that's not a good thing to do, guys, because it ain't about us. It's about what's in it for the customer. If you can create enough value for a client, a customer, to see the money that you're giving them, they're going to give you versus what you're going to give them is higher, they're going to buy from you. It's just the way it works. Showing up is just half the battle. Showing your ideas, calling those people over the phone, dealing with the objections, and learning how to overcome objections instead of getting angry and frustrated. Write down those objections if you keep getting them, and see, what'll happen is you just ask your mentors and your management, because they got a vested interest in you, hey, how do I overcome this objection? And they'll teach you how to overcome the objection, because see, they, like I said, have a vested interest in you, and they see that you're showing up. Showing up is asking questions of management, asking questions. How do I change? What can I do to be better? Selling and showing up means, hey, I'm going to pick up the phone, I'm going to call on people, and if I get treated like a dime's worth of doo-doo, I ain't going to take it out on the cat, the wife, the children, the significant other, the dog. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to take it internally. I'm going to be like a duck's back with water and just let it just flow right off. Because remember, see, God is so awesome. He gives us a new day every day. So if you're having a struggling day, I had one today. I'm just going to deal with it and remember that tomorrow is going to be better. Because remember, if you stay positive and stay positive and work in a positive manner, it's going to be positive. It's just the way it works. See, positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative. So always remember, try to do the things that you don't like to do. It's like watching videos. Sometimes people don't like to watch motivational videos, or maybe they're not interested in reading materials on how to get better, but it works if you work it. So you got to live it. And that means you got to do the things that nobody wants to do. A lot of times people just wing it. A lot of salespeople, they just show up and they don't read any books. They don't try to learn how to do different techniques in closing. And see, the difference is you. See, the difference is what can I do to make myself better? Do you get that? You should ask yourself that often. Selling, showing up, it's half the battle. Half the battle is doing, like I said, sometimes you got to struggle to get to where you need to be. Everybody, even the guy that invented the doggone light, this little light right up here, it didn't happen in a day. He had to go through a lot of failures, a lot of processes, a lot of issues. But he always talked to his significant other, and that's how he was able to get out of himself to be able to share what's going on. Because when you're struggling, it sucks. But see, here's the thing. Half the battle is getting out there and showing up every day. Now, if you got a product that ain't working for you, that's okay. All we have to do is do our research. Sometimes we got to get certifications and licenses to move into a different type of selling venue. And in this regard, that's sometimes one of the big benefits, because selling, everybody needs to buy something. They just need to have a product that somebody can sell it to them. And I'm going to tell you what, if you don't like what you're selling, don't beat yourself up, because that's a part of the course. I've been in retail. I have been in financing. I have been in a lot of different venues, over the phone calling, door to door, business to business. I've done a lot. But see, here's the thing. I've had to go through my own experiences for me to get to be the best that I can be. And I really love talking about selling, because I love the good, the bad, the ugly, and the warts and all. And selling and showing up is half the battle, baby. I mean, it literally is. I remember on Saturdays when I was a young, brand new salesperson, we'd go out and party the night before and be all feeling like crap and everything. But you know what? That next day, because we showed up. You know how Mike, he won all those nice awards, and he had the biggest game of his life because he was sick and everything? What happened? How did he do that? He showed up. It's just like me. When I used to get out there, I was feeling like crap. See, I don't drink and I don't do drugs and nothing like that. But when I was younger, I did some stupid stuff and I did some fun stuff. But I remember having to struggle. But see, I kept knocking on doors. Hey, did you want to go ahead and get that? Hey, did you want to go ahead and get that? I kept asking over and over. And I came really good at selling door to door. Even if I felt like crap, it was like, dang, man, how did you do that? It was selling. Showing up is half the battle. Showing up every day with a positive attitude. People ask me all the time, why are you so positive all the time? Why are you so happy most of the time? Why do you seem like you're just not real? Well, you know what? It didn't happen like that. I had to work on it. I have to work on it. I have to talk to myself. I have to say to myself, I can do anything I put my mind to. I have to show up every day and pick up that heavy stick and do the work. I have to get out there and knock on the doors. I have to call people when I don't want to. Remember, it's selling. Showing up is half the battle. I'm going to tell you what. If you get and start learning the basics and the fundamentals about your products, and if you ask for mentors to kind of walk you through the process, and you've got a nice little presentation, you can sell. You can do anything you put your mind to. Because my mom always tells me that, and that's a good thing. But see, you have to have this mentality that you can do it. And showing up is half the battle. Going to work. But listen, don't hang around with the wieners. Hang around with the winners. People that can take you to the next level. Search out and look for people that can walk you through a positive process. Negative in, negative out, positive in, positive out. So make sure when you're hanging around with the eagles and not the turkeys, you're going to be able to see those people, because those people will have a positive attitude, and they're not going to be manipulators, because what they do is every day they show up. How do you think people become wealthy or get successful? It ain't because they laid out at the house and didn't do no work. work. They had to show up. They had to do the stuff that people don't like to do. Studying is one of them. Sometimes you got to study your product. Sometimes you got to write the way you do your presentation. Sometimes you just got to look outside the box and be the best that you can be. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. We just had a very simple conversation about selling. Showing up is half the battle. So remember, tomorrow when you get out there to sell something, you just showed up. That's half the battle. So go out there and sell something and have a nice evening. All right.